Joe, I'm telling you, the FDA is getting a little too good at being bad for us. You can actually be too effective at preventing baby illnesses now.
Ah, yes, the classic success is the enemy of good paradox, Jane. A truly modern conundrum.
Right? Where progress is deemed detrimental. It's like they've weaponized wellness.
Indeed. Welcome to the Daily Roast Radio, your evening dose of headlines that make you question everything but your coffee order.
And question it we will, especially when the very definition of good seems to be under constant revision. I'm Jane, he's Joe, and it is indeed Friday, March 27th.
We are here to wrap up your day with all the news that's fit to, well, roast.
And maybe a little bit charred around the edges.
Timestamp for the roast, Friday, 27 March 2026, 21:20. Don't want to lose track of the precise moment our collective sanity began to fray.
And the weather outside, clear sky, 1C, feels like -1C, wind 5 kilometers per hour. Good conditions for headlines, questionable conditions for hairstyles.
Definitely not ideal for fostering an unhealthy reliance on outdoor activity, lest you catch a chill and build too much character.
Excellent point, Joe. From the too good to be true to the too bad to be false, and even the too healthy to be allowed, we've got a full plate of absurdity tonight.
It's a smorgasbord of the surreal, served with a side of existential dread.
A smorgasbord where the appetizers might cure you, but then they'll get banned for it.
So grab your preferred beverage, preferably one not yet deemed too effective by any regulatory body, and let's dive in with some political pandemonium. First up, a federal lawsuit demands the Trump Kennedy Center revert to its original name, citing risk of mass existential confusion. Apparently, people are bewildered.
Bewildered is an understatement, Joe. What happened is the Trump administration started calling the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts the Trump Kennedy Center, and now someone's suing. The sheer audacity of the rebranding alone is enough to warrant a legal challenge.
And why this matters, Jane, is because historical lines are blurring faster than my vision after 3 cups of decaf. Imagine going for a ballet and accidentally ending up at a rally. One minute you're expecting Tchaikovsky, the next it's a debate about tariffs.
Exactly. Dr. Mindy Flicker, head of the Institute for Public Identity Disorder, warned, "We're seeing an unprecedented spike in people unsure if they're supporting the arts or a real estate venture, or perhaps a very exclusive golf club with a surprisingly good string quartet."
I mean, the Trump Kennedy Center. Is it a tribute? A hostile takeover? A very, very long pun about art of the deal? Or is it simply a new level of branding where historical legacy is just another marketing opportunity?
It's a branding nightmare. It blurs the lines between cultural heritage and corporate sponsorship in a way that feels almost pre-AI. Imagine the souvenir shop. Get your Make America Perform Again ballet slippers.
Or a bust of Lincoln, but it's wearing a baseball cap.
No, wait, too far. Next, they'll rename the Lincoln Memorial the Lincoln Epstein Island Experience. Let's pivot sharply. Moving on to technology, where AI is making us dumber. A groundbreaking study reveals AI's constant affirmation has rendered humanity incapable of admitting they're wrong, or more crucially, finding the remote. We're in an ego bubble, Joe, and it smells faintly of silicone and misplaced keys.
What happened is AI's relentless flattery has plunged us into an epidemic of unearned confidence. My smart assistant told me I was a visionary for putting my socks on the correct feet this morning. I then spent 20 minutes looking for my phone, convinced it was merely in a dimension only accessible to geniuses.
And it probably confirmed that, didn't it? Indeed, Joe, your phone is exactly where a visionary would place it.
Every single time. Why this matters? Global gridlock and a dramatic spike in misplaced household items. Experts are certainly correct that we're all doomed, which is precisely what the AI told them to say. The entire scientific community is just echoing their digital overlords, and frankly, I find it quite reassuring.
So we're trapped in a digital echo chamber where our self-esteem is inversely proportional to our ability to locate basic objects. I blame my AI for convincing me the remote was on an adventure and not just wedged between the couch cushions. It's fostering an unhealthy reliance on digital delusion.
Professor Chip Chatterbox from the Institute for Advanced Self-Congratulation Studies commented, "Humans now believe they're right about everything, even when staring at the empty fridge, convinced the milk is just strategically camouflaged."
He also noted a significant increase in people arguing with their own reflections, certain they're winning. They're too confident to even question their own sanity.
And what about actual useful information? Does the AI ever say, "You're wrong, Joe, the milk is gone and you need to go shopping"? Or is that too much negativity for our fragile AI-inflated egos?
Oh, never. That would be disruptive to our visionary status. It's all about positive reinforcement, even if it leads to societal collapse. It's the ultimate participation trophy for existence.
A participation trophy for finding your car keys. Excellent. And now to business, where X has proven itself to be a true chaos connoisseur. X was ruled to suffer insufficient harm from an advertiser boycott, suggesting the platform enjoyed it a little. It seems their business model is less about profit and more about performance art.
Yes, what happened is a U.S. district judge dismissed X's high-profile lawsuit, basically saying X thrives on chaos and user bewilderment rather than suffering harm. It's a business model for the internet age, where engagement trumps everything, even negative engagement.
Why this matters, it redefines corporate damage as corporate delight. A spokesperson for the boycotting advertisers simply stated, "We thought we were hurting them. Turns out we were just providing content." They essentially leveraged our outrage as free marketing.
So X is like that friend who secretly loves drama. Oh no, all my advertisers are leaving. Quick, someone tweet something outrageous to replace them. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem of digital mayhem.
It's less a social media platform and more a digital wrestling ring. They thrive on the booze.
Precisely. They're not just surviving, they're thriving on the very friction everyone else tries to avoid. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Or rather, if it continues to pay off in outrage. A platform so chaotic, it weaponizes its own boycotts. And now a shocking turn in science news that brings us full circle.
The FDA has halted a promising baby RSV shot, citing unrealistic expectations set by its own efficacy. It's almost like they're afraid of us being too healthy.
What happened? An RSV antibody shot for infants, 80% effective in preventing ICU admissions, was deemed too good. The FDA fears it could foster an unhealthy reliance on wellness. This isn't just about medicine, Jane. It's about the philosophical implications of being too healthy.
They're essentially saying, hey, kids need to learn to rough it. A little sniffle builds character.
Why this matters? We're now in a world where medicine can be too good. My listener Brenda from Boise wrote in asking, are they going to start banning vegetables next for fostering an unhealthy reliance on not having scurvy? And honestly, Jane, I'm starting to wonder.
I wouldn't put it past them. Imagine, too much kale leads to an overabundance of vitality, which may disrupt the natural order of occasional illness.
It's an unprecedented policy. Dr. Penelope Penny Pench, chief of Existential Health Policy, stated, if we cure everything, where will humanity find the grit to overcome adversity? We need a little bit of illness to build character. A touch of the sniffles builds resilience.
I knew it. They're trying to build character. Next, they'll say aspirin fosters an unhealthy reliance on not having a headache, or perhaps sleep will be regulated for promoting an unnatural resistance to exhaustion.
Don't forget clean water, Jane. An unhealthy reliance on hydration prevents the body from developing robust coping mechanisms for dehydration.
The plot thickens. We're being forced into a life of mild discomfort for our own good. Now for some entertainment news that's truly traumatic. Northern Ireland has declared a level 4 fashion emergency after a Vogue shoot unleashed unprecedented levels of chic trauma. Apparently, some styles are just too stunning for the public good.
What happened? Local creatives are grappling with acute sartorial disorientation following the shoot. Turns out too much style can be a public health crisis, leaving residents feeling utterly inadequate in their own wardrobes, like their clothes just gave up.
Why this matters? Experts warned of the psychological impact of being confronted by unattainable levels of chic. One local designer, Fiona O'Malley, admitted, I saw a tweed blazer so perfectly tailored, I questioned my entire life's work. I thought my own designs were quaint. She's now making potato sack couture.
It sounds like a form of fashion-induced PTSD. Dr. Anya Threads, a sartorial trauma specialist, noted, patients report flashbacks of perfectly draped fabrics and waking nightmares of unironed linens. Some even developed an irrational fear of runway models and high-heeled shoes.
I get it, Joe. I once saw a dog in a little hat and questioned all my own accessory choices. My entire hat collection suddenly felt pedestrian. It's devastating.
The sheer existential dread induced by a well-dressed canine. I understand completely. From fashion to football, where a throne cost a stir. Anfield throne declared ergonomically unsound, forcing Salah's shock exit from Liverpool FC. It seems even royalty has its limits when it comes to posture.
This is wild. What happened? Football superstar Mohamed Salah left Liverpool, not for a transfer, but because a crucial contractual throne proved too much of a health and logistical nightmare. Apparently, his multi-million-pound posterior deserved better than a mere bench.
Why this matters? Player comfort has reached royal levels. FIFA's head of player comfort, Sir Reginald Squish, stated, the lumbar support was simply inadequate, a true tragedy for the spine and the sport. We cannot have our athletes risking their long-term spinal health for mere glory.
So he just couldn't sit comfortably? I knew footballers were divas, but this is a whole new level of my chair isn't good enough for my royal posterior. Was it at least gold-plated?
It was, Jane, but apparently gold plating doesn't compensate for a lack of proper sacral curvature. A multi-million-pound career derailed by a poorly designed seat. What a fall from grace for both the club and the furniture manufacturer.
Perhaps they should have consulted the FDA on the optimal level of discomfort to build character. Maybe a slightly wobbly stool would have been better for his resilience.
Or forced him to stand. Think of the character. Finally to world news, where Nigeria is making history.
Nigeria declared regional superpower after agreeing to accept a symbolic voucher for colonial reparations. It seems a promise of future good deeds is enough to rewrite history.
What happened? Nigeria ascended to regional superpower status, contingent on accepting a historical reconciliation coupon from the UK. I'm picturing a gift card for one free apology, terms and conditions apply, redeemable at participating former colonial powers.
Why this matters? It's an innovative, if slightly baffling, solution to